everybody. Here we are. Mike,
Okay, here we go.
Shut up so I can say hello.
Hello. Hello. Because we're coming up on another devastating global catastrophe, the April 8th solar eclipse. We've been talking about doing having an emergency ration, because I'll really tell you, the real emergencies you didn't know they were coming. Like, we had a fire come down through the canyon 2 or 3, so this is 4 years ago, in September. And I'll tell you what, nobody knew it was moving 60, 70 miles an hour. The fire was moving like 60, 70 miles an hour. And I had friends up in the canyon that lost like everything. And then some people were spared. So those are the kind of emergencies, doesn't matter what you do, you can't prepare for that. I mean, that kind of, but most emergencies like ice storms, those are the ones that really put you out and really affect you, obviously, along with other things. But we had an ice storm here, and the electricity went out, and we didn't have any propane. I mean, we had nothing. Right. So we ended up having to leave town and go stay in a hotel, which was fine. But it would have been nice to have had what we needed. So propane, and what does Saruba offer? What is
before we get into all the list of the goodies to have it.
Darn it!
I was going to say, we're not saying that there's going to be an apocalypse on the 8th. There's going to be a solar eclipse. Be cool to look at if you got your proper safety glasses. But it's a good time to prepare now, even though nothing will probably happen on the 8th other than a really cool thing in the sky. But, if you start getting that habit of always having extra cases of water, always having extra batteries and flat, just kind of, it's a good reason, to prepare for the 8th and then continue just to keep preparing. Because like you were saying, what's going to happen?
Here's the thing.
I have an excellent example, maybe a cautionary tale. So this is really good because he was just telling me a story. His son had woke up, and this happened a couple of days ago, and he lets his cat sleep in his bed, and the cat swiped at him and took his eye out. So you can never be too prepared.
Safety goggles in bed. I've been thinking. No, seriously, took the guy's eye out. Hey, seriously, he took the guy's eye out?
Yeah, the eye came out of his head, out of his skull. The claw grabbed the eyeball and pulled it out. And
wow.
So he ended up going to the hospital. He's okay. I mean, you can't see out that eye right now.
He can't, because there's a cat in front of it. There's a cat attached to his head.
They have to remove the cat.
Wow. Wow. Okay, there's a cautionary tale for you.
So it's a cautionary tale, yeah.
What I was going to ask you, Chris,
the bed.
Huh? What I was going to ask you is most people, maybe the 4 people that are watching this, maybe one of them doesn't know that you are an ex-special forces guy, trained in survival, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So just give a quick rundown of like a good safety kit. Like what would you put in like something you have in your home? What would be a good?
That's a good question. And I would, the basic, what keeps you alive, food and water. So have, depending on what you can afford, I personally have like 5 cases of water sitting here. I got one in the fridge. I probably have 3 to 6 months of food on hand, mainly canned food that has long shelf life, food like that. I bought a, 50-pound bag of rice, 50-pound bag of flour, just flour and water and some yeast, and you can make bread for every day for a year or whatever. You don't have to extend out like me. I'm a little bit maybe anal about it, but if you have enough to get you through a couple of weeks, until the stores open. So I mean, food is important, obvious, food and water. But always have your flashlight, anything if you have a phone or other means of communication like a CB radio. Have that charged or in a position to throw up an antenna. I mean, what you want food, water, and communications. You need to be able to receive communications. You can't
Right.
necessarily depend on the internet. So radio,
Like a
shortwave.
little one of those little shortwave radios are probably
Yeah,
great. I don't know.
right. Because they will
Well,
put
actually,
out.
even a pair of if I mean this is a little bit of a stretch in one sense. I'm thinking we're kind of talking about two different things. I'm thinking of something like 3 to 5 days, but
Right.
you're thinking a little bit farther out, and that's just good to have, good to think a little bit outside the box. You never know what's going to happen. Like we've had fires out here in the West that I mean, literally have devastated communities. I mean, it's been unbelievable. And I'm not talking about like 100 miles away. I'm talking within 30 to 50 miles of us. There's whole towns that have been devastated by fire. So this is, as
And that's a really
population
good
grows
point.
and we're more densely packed, it's, this is a real issue. I mean, it's so you want to definitely not necessarily April 8th. I don't think anything's going to happen, but still, it's wise to have like a good safety net.
So, along those lines, if you're just talking about a day, 3 to 5 days, you probably want to pack a suitcase or a little backpack, have a change of clothes, have a flashlight, battery, an extra cell phone if you got a charger,
That's
a
great.
couple cans of food,
Right.
just that if your house is on fire or something happens, you can grab it, or it's always in your vehicle, and you've got a
What do
little
they
bit of a
call it? Escape
resupply.
pack or I can't remember what
We
they
get it.
call
We called it when I was in. It was a ditty bag. We called it a ditty bag.
it. Yeah. So you
Yeah,
just
so
have like
you can call it
some
escape
stuff
pack,
like your bug out bag. So
bug
you can
out.
get
Yeah,
out
there
and
you
you've
go.
got enough stuff for a couple of days. I mean, I think that's brilliant. I mean, I really think especially with you think of all the junk that we have in our houses that we just
Right,
it would be a small thing to put together a bag with some clothing,
exactly. And make
something that's comfortable,
medication,
something that like,
meds,
yeah, some
some
toiletries, maybe
bandages,
whatever.
band-aids,
Yeah,
alcohol,
little first aid. Yep, yep. Good
alcohol
stuff.
rub.
Actually, that's really, I think, especially nowadays, it just seems like this kind of thing is happening more and more because, yeah, just higher population, higher populated area. So it's just smart to have a bug out bag or a ditty bag, whatever you want to call it.
And also, you always want to have your ceruba seed treatment
Yes.
and your seeds. Always have extra seeds. Always have seeds on hand. So when you really
God,
get when it becomes the apocalypse and like
yes,
people
right.
are fighting and scavenging for food, you have
Right.
your seeds. Guess what?
That's right.
You could trade them for guns, ammunition, because you can grow things, and that's going to make you a master of of this universe.
Master of the apocalypse.
That's what we try to achieve, to be masters of the apocalypse through seed
Everybody's
treatment.
shooting for it. There's only going to be one king of the or master of the apocalypse, maybe. I guess. So
But
what do you think is going to be like
seeds,
the area? Like what do you think is like a 50-mile radius master of the apocalypse? Every 50 miles, you're going to find one master.
yeah, well, think Mad Max.
Oh, that's yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 I'm
Woo!
giving up. I'm going to move to ground zero. Hopefully, I get taken out in the first
Well,
first drop.
I was thinking of Mad Max, so I kept all my old ice hockey equipment. So I got the
Oh,
helmet, I got the shoulder pads. So I just need to get some horns. My grandson bought me a bull's head, with the horns, a
oh,
longhorn.
nice.
I could
Oh,
put that on the back of my hockey shoulder pads and have the
oh,
horns
that's
coming out. So I haven't really been thinking about it much.
I was thinking more along the lines of maybe non-perishable plastic fruits.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Like Fruit of the Loom guy. Yeah.
Fruit Loom guy. That's terrifying. You're running one of
Everybody
those guys.
loves
You got
Fruit
to
of the
go.
Loom
Whoa,
guy.
point. You know.
Yeah.
Uh, Here we
Have some
got we got
fun.
a 20-year special forces guy telling you how to put your bug out. So just go over that one more time, just for those people that just
Yeah, I mean,
aren't with it.
right. Yeah, if you're making a bug out bag, just get whatever, a little backpack, a little, flight carry bag, just something you can stick a couple cans of food, a couple bottles of water. If you take medication, maybe an extra bottle of your meds, maybe some band-aids and a bandage, maybe extra pair of socks, underwear. It doesn't have to be extensive. a lighter, something to make fire with,
Right.
that kind of, a flashlight with battery. And if you have a small transistor radio and a cell phone charged, or at least, just that kind of along those lines. A lighter is
And I
always
think it all
handy,
depends.
and a knife. I always have a knife.
Obviously, yeah, always depending on where you're located, you may need different stuff depending, like, obviously if
Yeah.
you're in a city, you're going to need different things. If you're in like more of a rural setting or out in the woods somewhere, obviously what you're going to have in your bag is going to be different. But yeah, good to.
Yeah, I mean, whatever your only limitation is your imagination and what you need in that bag. Everybody would like a different type of item to take with them if they had to get out of the house quickly. So, just something to think about.
Right. Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. I will do the signature sign off unless you want to.
Adios, amigos.
Oh,
Oh, so you
remember,
got your own.
read
So you got your
instructions
own.
before leaving
So are
Earth.
you telling me you've got your own signature sign off? Is
That
that the
was it.
redirection before you leave Earth?
Yeah, that's it. I had a radio show, and that's what my sign off was on the radio show.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we don't want to. Well, you do the honors then.
Yeah, yeah. So it's mine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go
I don't know if
ahead.
it's mine, but I say
No,
it.
you do yours. I'll do
And you
mine.
do yours. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right.
I mean, on my nationally televised show, I had my own sign off. That was pretty kick ass too. I mean, it was pretty
I'm
amazing.
sure what.
It
Yeah.
was adios, amigos. Friendly.
Or you could do the, you may want to say a few things that you have heard is going to happen, but I wouldn't instill fear. We don't want this to turn into H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds podcast. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Now I can hear you.
Now I
Okay,
can hear you.
That could have been
weird.
That was weird. All the important stuff you just said, nobody heard.
All the really important stuff. Yeah, and what's going to happen is
That's what I thought. I thought the same thing.
yeah, the government said that. So everybody needs to. And then after that, you go down and
that's like every big
information
meet I've ever been to. I never catch